Redback Racing from the University of New South Wales are long-time supporters of Formula SAE. 4th in the acceleration, 7th in the skid pan and 7th in the autocross place them well.
There's a lot of general knowledge and a lot of also technical knowledge carried over from previous years. That's the whole advantage, I think.
We retain about 80% of people from year to year. There's still 1 or 2 people left from the very first competition. On average, people have been here about 3 or 4 years. Trying to get the car finished earlier each year, I suppose, just so we've actually got time to run the car. No matter how well you design the car, there's always bugs that need to be ironed out once it gets to the track.
This year we finished the car 8 weeks before the event, so we've had a fair bit of testing that's gone really well.
We also had Sam Michael come visit us today, earlier this year, because he used to be a student at our uni, so he had a few comments to say about our whole car and all that. A lot of experience, engineering experience. Instead of, I think a lot of engineering students go through uni doing a lot of theoretical stuff, but they never actually get to apply it, whereas SAE gives you a chance to use those skills, apply it, and see actually something you design get built, get tested, and that's a huge advantage going into industry compared to people who have just gone through uni looking at the books and stuff like that.
Running traction control for the first time this year, which given the weather is probably a good thing, seeing as most of our drivers are quite inexperienced. Not so much innovation this year, probably just consolidation of things we've learned for the past 2 or 3 years. Had some very lean years in the past. We're trying to redress that. Our team actually won the first Australian competition. Haven't managed to win again since then, so yeah, this year it's mostly about having a good, reliable, tested car and go in and try and win through consistency rather than any big innovations or outright performance.
The University of Sydney was 9th in the acceleration, 13th on the skid pan and 12th in the autocross. Their objective? To build a reliable car.
Probably the most important thing is its drivability, I think. It's got an engine with a good torque curve that's quite constant and steady. Okay, the frame we've used is a cold drawn seamless. It's nickel bronze done, so it's a lot tougher than fatigue. It's weighing in about 33 kilos painted. It's very stiff. It's a big improvement over last year's design. The stiffness around the rear and mounting the engine. The engine's not stressed at all. It's completely brand new except for the front wheel packaging, which had been designed and half manufactured, but an external sponsor didn't come through with the goods, I guess. We've taken a lot of design work on this year, but a lot of new designs, but it's come well and it's running pretty well in testing. So the team's been competing since 2001. We went along to the first competition in 2000 to take notes and stuff, and yeah, we're hoping for a good result this year. There's 11 thesis students who do the core of design work, and they base their final year project thesis on that. There's about 15 juniors which sort of help us out with manufacturing and stuff like that. Our definition of what an SAE car is, the cost of motor racing is probably the most prohibitive part for a lot of people. We wanted to make a fairly simple and reliable car and make it as drivable as possible. It's still got a lot of good features in it, and it seems to work very well. Yeah.
The University of Newcastle's car has a low central point and a high nose. It helped them to 15th in the acceleration, 11th on the skid pan and 9th in the autocross. Luke Laurie explains.
It's just another one of the compromises, mate. The reason the feet are up so high is to package the shocks down low. The aim was to go pull rod in the front and package the shocks as low as possible, hopefully offsetting the fact that the driver's feet are higher than usual. Yeah, I had a lot to do with the packaging myself, in conjunction with the suspension team. We put our ideas together, and with a fair bit of CAD work, we got it the right compromise we were after, I think. There are 8 or 10 final year projects with another 8 or 10 second and third years helping out, and people from other disciplines as well. It's a brand new car, brand new concept. Last year we ran with 10-inch rims and tried to go for a small, lightweight version. This year we've bitten the bullet, got the 13-inch rims and gone for the all-out racing package. We finished in time. We began testing and found problems with the ECU and the engine management. We sorted them out on the way up here on the day, but now everything seems to be running fine and how it should. So we're looking forward to a competitive weekend. I believe the experience, working with industry, it's really good that when you go for a job you can say that I've organised quotes and jobs to be outsourced and seen things through to the end. I think it's a really good experience.
The twitchy Red 10 from Sophia University in Japan. 8th on the skid pan, 11th in the sprint, but a disappointing 13th in the autocross. The Japanese team seemed to favour short wheelbase cars. The University of Auckland had a carbon fibre chassis and impressive presentation, but disappointingly had trouble in scrutineering with driver access and wasn't able to run on track.
Coming in last year, we focused on building a car that was reliable, that would finish all events, sort of basically learn about the competition. We did that pretty well. We got 6th last year, and our first year picked up Best Endeavour Award Rookie of the Year. Going away from last year, we had a lot of unfinished business in that we learned so much from winning our first car. We knew what we wanted to do different in our second car. So this is basically the result of what we learned from the competition, if you like. The reduction of mass was a huge part of it. This car is in the region of 50 kgs lighter than the 2004 car. We wanted to focus on getting a car that would dig out of corners really quickly, so hence we're running a supercharger. It gives us a huge spread of torque. The full aerodynamics is a big feature this year. That's been developed using a glide path rolling road in the University wind tunnel. Makes us as far as we know, the only rolling road wind tunnel in Australia. So things like that makes it pretty exciting. We've got a team of 29 people. They range from first to fourth years to postgraduate students. Each putting in, sort of time varying per week from sort of 10 to 110 hours a week. Learning from Formula FSAE for us covers so many aspects. It's hard to quantify. There's the engineering side of it, the detailed design, the analysis, that type of thing, but also working in a team, organising the sponsorship and the business side of it. We've got sponsors and supporters list which is over 80 now. Sort of a number of cash sponsors, a huge number of cash sponsors. The majority of our funding comes from sponsorship, so that side of the project is a huge part of it. Managing a team of 30 guys to build a car in a year is no mean feat. There's so many different aspects to it other than the engineering that makes it really exciting.
The first SAE competition for RV College from India. The team stayed at a city backpackers and caught the train to nearby Hoppers Crossing, walking to the track each day, a measure of their determination. It's part of their long journey.
It's about 36 hours journey from India to Australia. We're about 21 members, including the faculty advisor. Yeah, it's a first year car and the first car from our country to compete in Australia. Yeah, we've done about 40 kilometers of testing and the car's been performing pretty good, but yeah, we need to test it on this track to know the actual results. So we are from Bangalore, it's in the southern India. Right now, India is a hub for engineers, and the biggest, branch is IT companies. But right now, the mechanical part is also coming up really well. The manufacturing sectors are going up, so now it's become the big engineering hub of the world, actually. We started this car, we started this project about 2 years ago, and the biggest hurdle was that getting funds for a project. And we had to convince in our country that, this project is going to help a lot of students in, getting the talent out of the country. This project, working on this project, the world recognizes the talent that's involved in this kind of project, and the students are, benefited in getting good jobs in the automobile industries. We have practical exposure.
Melbourne University was kept busy working on their car through the competition. They performed well in the static events, but missed the acceleration and skid pan before making an appearance in the autocross, finishing equal 14th. Sydney University of Technology didn't make it out onto the track for any of the dynamic events. Host Victoria University's first entry with Azure Motorsports was a challenge, and time beat them. They weren't able to get out onto their home track.
I wish it was, but even if we had managed to get some testing in, we have been told unequivocally we're not allowed to use this particular track. So it would be nice if it was home ground advantage, but no, we're in the same boat as everybody else. We're just at the moment getting our bodywork fitted to the car, so it requires pulling off a fair amount of the suspension. Once it's fitted, we fit our radiators back onto the car and the suspension back on, and hopefully get her all fired up. The last week's been fairly hectic, not a lot of sleep going on, a lot of coffee consumed, but it's all part of it, I suppose. It wouldn't be the FSAE experience if we didn't do this. This is our Victoria University's first year, actually, as a team competing. They hosted the event for the first time last year, and so from that point of view, they've decided, well, if we host the event, we better have a team. So this is our first one. That there's never enough time, and whenever you think you're organised, you're not, and whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
Noise testing continued, and it's getting hot underfoot. Day 3 was dry and hot with a gusty wind. Preparing for the endurance and fuel economy events, the ultimate test for Formula SAE cars. Cars start in their current ranking, so the favoured teams are running first.
Teams and spectators. At any one time, you should be able to see 4 cars on circuit. So at 9:30, we are.
Show you that on the last lap, and then the checkered flag. Okay.
You don't have to worry.
Ashley Carr from Wollongong.
Pretty much, yeah. Just get out there, get used to the car, get used to the track, and set a good time. So.
The enduro and fuel events are worth 400 out of the 1,000 points available. A non-finish in the enduro can undo all the hard work of the past year. And many things can go wrong. Mechanical failure, fuel miscalculation, and in the hot conditions, driver fatigue and mistakes become an issue. UWA leads off, leading the competition overall. Following them, Wollongong. And then the University of Queensland. The neat car from RMIT was revving freely, but coasted to a halt, a real blow for the team's hopes. RMIT is pushed away, a slipping clutch causing the trouble. The enduro is run in 2 parts, morning and afternoon, with 4 drivers completing 5.5 kilometres each, a total of 22 kilometres. Cars don't race wheel to wheel because the tight course doesn't allow it. But anyone who is caught by a faster car has to stop in the passing zone and let the quicker car through. All timing and lap counting is done electronically, helping officials keep track of the progress of the event. On to the last lap for UWA. The end of the opening 5.5 kilometre leg for UWA. 3 minutes are allowed for the driver changeover, so belts and restrainers can be properly installed. It's also the chance to have a first look at how the cars are holding up. Redback Racing on track. At any one time, there are 4 cars racing. Nando Gazomi completed the opening leg for WA, and it's been hard work.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a lot of grip out there with the car. Yeah, it's pretty tight at the moment. Yeah.
Perform well.
Yeah, performed very well. Yeah. A couple of issues changing gears, but I think that's just mainly me getting tired. So, yeah. Apart from that, yeah, it's really good.
And Wollongong is pleased with their progress.
Yeah, it's good. Fun track.
Any issues with the car? Or?
No, it's good. Going well. Yeah, it's going well.